Good evening. Welcome to our Tuesday night call. I'm so excited to be doing these. And this is our very first one that's actually, what do I say? Anytime we do team calls, it's sort of like, oh, we have this topic to cover, and so I think we should really have a team call, which in and itself is fine. But I know that for a long time, I've actually had a lot of people saying, we really need to have weekly team calls. And I've been like, y'all are crazy. I'd like to do that, but I've never done that before. And you know, sometimes in this business, we say things like you should do things that try new things. You should do things that scare you. And yeah, there are so many reasons that this scares me, but hey, I'm a leader and I'm stepping out and this is the deal. So had a great chat with Genevieve Scory about things that she felt that we should be doing as a team, and weekly team calls were one of them. So voila, weekly team call, Tuesday nights at 8:30, this time, same bat channel every week. And we're very excited. So let me just break down for you guys a little bit about what these team calls are going to look like. And I know that as people kind of catch on to the fact that this is like a thing, we will have more and more people and it will be fantastic. But thank you all for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. So first off, I'm so glad I'm seeing one of our rock stars right here on our call, Amanda Baker. She goes, oh shoot. Hey girl, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm just cold. I'm trying to warm up.
Okay, well, hey, sending warm thoughts to you.
Thanks. I'm good. I'm good.
So, hey, how many people have you sponsored in the month of October?
Two.
Woo,
congratulations.
Huge congratulations to you. So usually I won't do this because I didn't think you were going to be on here.
I didn't know if I would be. I was doing fucking. So, I wasn't sure. Yeah,
it's all good. So I would love to hear from you. What do you feel has shifted for you this month? Because I've been watching your chats. I've been kind of seeing how things have been going the last like 45 days or so. There's been a shift, girl. Like, what's going
on? I just stopped being scared of everything.
Awesome.
Because it's not going to get me anywhere.
You're so right.
There's no point in being scared of anything. You get a no, you get a no. If you get a yes, then yay, you got a yes.
Fantastic.
So yeah, things just kind of started shifting after my sip and share. So that was good.
So you hosted a sip and share. You had your uplines come to you, which not everybody can do, but they came.
Yep.
And I remember you saying that you were thinking about canceling.
That was a thought at the beginning, and then it was not a thought. Then it was that we're just going to do it no matter what. So.
And that's awesome. Yeah. There's something that happens, even like when you get a couple people together to do something like this, even if you've got one guest or two guests or whatever, it just starts a fire in you, I really find.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So yeah. Have you shifted the way that you're working your business then? Like, are you doing more activity? Are you doing anything differently than maybe
I'm just being more productive. Like, I'm not trying to waste as much time, aimlessly scrolling through Facebook, like actually putting my time into contacting people and making time for people, and it's working. So
awesome.
I have another coffee date for tomorrow, and hopefully that goes well. So
that's really, really exciting. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, it's good. Awesome. It's really good.
We've got Sheila and Marge joining us. I'm wondering if you guys are joining us for your team call or what you're doing.
Are you guys not done yet?
No, we're done in half an hour. 9 o'clock.
You just started.
Yes, but you can join us.
We started at 8.
Oh, you started at 8? See, we were starting at 8.
We're done. We're like power houring now.
We started at 8:30 because I had my wonderful Sherry Grant said, I would like them to start at 8:30, please, so I could join. And I was like, yes, you can, because that's the last child's bedtime in my house, and I wonder if that's everybody else's, and so we can put the babies to bed.
Mm-hmm. We're just going to go jump over onto my Zoom. Nice
Oh,
seeing you
good. We'll
guys.
see you in half an hour.
Yeah.
I love you. 20 minutes. Anyway, that's awesome, Amanda. That is
Thank
absolutely
you.
amazing. And so I know we have a couple other people who have signed 2 or more already this month. For sure, we have Carrie Lemieux who has done 2, and she's looking for her 3rd because she wants that. And I know you do too, Amanda.
Oh, you
Wants
bet
that
I do.
$150 bonus.
I
Yes!
do.
That's
Yep.
so awesome. And
Yep.
Nicole Crawford is super close to that too. Am I missing anybody that anybody else knows of right off the top of their heads? No? Well, if we do, we'll just get everybody to put their names in the comments when we post this and grow. I like math sometimes, not often. Did you know, hold on, 225 times 1.33, including business building bonuses, that's like $299. Essentially, it's $300 between your business building bonuses for 3 new ambassadors and the 150. Isn't that exciting?
That's awesome.
It's so exciting. And because we've got these extra promos this month, in case you guys don't know, it's sponsor 3. Get $150 in your next weekly paycheck. And if you sponsor another 3, not only is it another 150, but Plexus will actually give you another 200 on your monthly paycheck. So if we look at that, 500, and then 6 times 75, 6 times 25, pardon me, $25 per welcome pack. That's 150. So we're talking $650 times 1.33 is how I figured it out. That's over $860
Wow.
in Canadian funds for 6 new ambassadors. And that's not even counting if they purchased we want to eradicate that word, large welcome packs, and then your points on that as well. So thank you so much for sharing, Amanda. We're so excited, cheering you on.
Thank you.
Cannot wait to see that big announcement that you've got your 3rd person.
And both of those signups were the core packs. So those were the big ones.
Yay! That means you get paid on points too.
The first 2 that I had on core packs were this month. So
that's awesome. And they have the same opportunity to earn the same kind of cash as you do, actually more, because they're brand new ambassadors.
Exactly.
So that's super exciting too. Awesome. Okay, so these team calls are actually going to be we're going to do a little bit of recognition, kind of a heads up refresher as to what's happening in October, which is what that was. There's also that Rise Up and Re-Rank, I think is what it's called. I actually wrote that down somewhere. Yeah, I was too neat and tidy. Anyway, so if you have fallen below your rank, there is a re-rank bonus as well. So check that out in the back office with all of the awesome incentives in an incentive tab. So make sure that you look at that if that's you. If you're not sure, talk to me or your upline. But like I was saying, these calls are going to be mostly focused on the Motivation Monday call that happened last night. So if you want to come with extra thoughts and takeaways from that, please make sure that you are signed up for the Motivation Monday calls that happen every Monday. I got the recording of it emailed to me today. So if you can't listen to it live at 5 o'clock Saskatchewan, Alberta time, then you will be able to listen to it the next day. Maybe not in time for this call, but you'll still get something as a takeaway from it as well. This was Callie Bigham, and she was talking on building team motivation. And this was so awesome to hear from her. She went Emerald in 10 months, and then kind of her life fell apart after a couple of years of being with Plexus. I think she said 2 years in, she found that she was a single mom with 2 kids. She was totally on her own financially, and Plexus has just been such a blessing for her. But I want to know how many people were able to catch the Motivation Monday call yesterday. Anybody? Anybody? Okay, so this is all new to you. So I could tell you a completely different story and you would have no idea. I love it. We will get there, guys. It's not imperative that you watch it, but it's really, really good. And the reason that Genevieve had suggested that we watch the Motivation Monday call and then come here and discuss it is because they're really focusing on specific points of strength of these emeralds, diamonds, and sapphires that are doing the Motivation Monday. And this is what they want the field to be talking about. This is what they want people to be learning and getting better at. So what better topic for our team calls than the stuff from Motivation Monday? So she talked about how important it was that at her first convention 7 years ago, Deborah Lawson, who is one of the Diamonds, she got up onto the stage and she said, I want you to picture yourself. I want you to like visualize yourself right now sitting in your Lexus. Or if you have a different vehicle that you know that you're getting, because back then it was only a Lexus, if you have a different dream, pick that. So I know for our farmers, for Sherry Grant, for Crystal Welk, they're probably not buying a Lexus unless it can go off-roading. So this could be a new truck. This could be an SUV, whatever. Mine is an Acadia. It's great. Picture yourself sitting in the driver's seat. Feel how the steering wheel feels in your hands. Just picture the whole thing. And now you're backing out of the driveway. You put it into gear. Where are you going? Where is your destination? And for her, her destination was freedom. She said that was the word that popped into my mind immediately. My destination was freedom. And for her, it was freedom from a job that she'd had for 15 years. And little did she know how much freedom she was going to need. And I think that that's something that I've really been thinking about this week is, people who I really know could be good at or great at this business, who will say, yeah, it's okay. I've had one person say, it's okay. My husband's income is enough for us. And I thought, but what if, right? Like, what if you were able to give more than you ever thought you'd be able to? What if you were able to send your child to a performing arts school that you never thought you'd be able to do? What if you guys could retire 10 years early? What if you could impact thousands of lives that you wouldn't have chosen to impact before because you didn't know that this existed? There's so many what ifs, but we need to be able to paint that picture. And freedom is a huge one for a lot of people. So she also said, see this business as an opportunity. And this really got me. Everything you put into this business will reflect back to you. What do you want to become? And are you putting into this business what you want to reflect back to you? And we talk about, the speed of the leaders, the speed of the team. And I watch that through my own journey, right? The times that maybe I've decided to take my foot off the gas a little bit. There's a little bit of a delay because everybody else is working, and then you kind of take your foot off the gas, or you change your focus or whatever. Guys, the thing that I can tell you with the most certainty is that this is a marathon. It is not a sprint. There are times in this business where, yes, we want to work towards a goal, or we want to work towards a promotion for a specific month, or we have leaders retreat contest or something like that. So maybe you will work differently in those seasons, but make sure that just baseline, you still know what that is. And that is an everyday, right? Consistency is so, so key. She said, teach your team that everyone's journey is different. Persevere, believe in yourself, focus on your strengths, and don't give up. And of course, she did remind everyone that there are high momentum times and there are valleys, right? And so it's that consistency that you have in your business that's going to carry you through all of those times. And so we always say you need to know your why, so that when you are in those seasons, right, of valleys, I know, and I'm not picking on, but I'm going to talk about Sherry Grant because I know her why. Her why is to see other people's lives drastically change the way that she knows that they can be. And it's a different why than a lot of people, because a lot of people are like, I want to retire my husband. I want to do this. I want to do this. And Sherry is very focused. And I've seen this in her whole business. Her focus is legitimately, I want to see other people's lives change. Does she not? Does she work for goals? Absolutely she does. She works for stuff like that all the time. But at her core, and we talked about core values two weeks ago, what our core set of values should be, and it's loving other people well. And I see that through her all the time, and I see that reflected then, like she said, right? what you put out there reflects back to you. And I see her whole team reflecting this incredible love for other people. So, hey, props to Sherry and her team. We love you guys so much. So yes, you need to know your why and the fact that we have something incredibly special. And we need to make sure that we plug our new ambassadors into our resources, especially our newbies. We have system tools in our back offices. We have training webinars, the Facebook ambassador communities. We've got our what would we call them? Our testimony groups. We've got scripts. We've got that healthy workbook. If you guys haven't seen this yet, there's another one in the back office, and it's under getting started. So getting a new ambassador started. It's a piece of paper, and I was talking about this on one of our power hours, I think, and it's something on how to get everybody started correctly, or maybe I did that on our last team Zoom. I can't remember. Everything's kind of flooding together in my brain. Make sure that people know about our incentives. Don't just assume that they're not going to want to work for them, especially this time of year. People are looking for ways that they can make a little bit of extra money, and I love that Plexus has given us so generously over and above what they normally would be giving us. They're already crazy generous, and then to be giving over and above that is just incredible. And the fact that somebody can start tomorrow, they can sign 3 people tomorrow, and next week get $150 on top of their $75 for their welcome pack bonuses, plus they're going silver, which is going to come on their monthly check, plus they went fast start silver, so that should be another $150. Crazy. Like, this is making money immediately, other than like putting it in and getting it back out. Like, that's within a week. It's brilliant. And the fact that people would have their product paid for that quickly is amazing. And then just helping them along the way. So making sure that those people are plugged in, that they know what's available to them. I'll call myself out on this. I remember a particular ambassador starting, or a bunch of ambassadors starting, during a leaders retreat contest the year that we were starting into Momentum. And I did not totally understand how everyone was going to earn leaders retreat. I hadn't earned it the year before, and I didn't totally get it. And so I was not doing my best to connect everybody to all of the pieces of information. And I know now that a bunch of them probably could have earned leaders retreat if that's what they wanted to do. But because of my shortfall or my nearsightedness, I didn't share all of that information because I didn't want to overwhelm them. Well, now I'm kicking myself because they probably would have made it. So my apologies. If you know you are one of those people, my apologies to you. Totally guilty all the time now. And I think of it every time we have a leaders retreat contest. I'm like, we need to tell everybody. And then I think about how many people this year who just joined in the last couple months who earned leaders retreat within that period. And I just mind blowing. And this contest was very, very difficult to earn. Congratulations to all of you who earned it. This was a very different contest than any other year. And so it was a different mindset shift, I guess I should say. Not necessarily that it was more difficult. It was just a shift in how we earned things in a contest. So absolutely awesome. So how do we go about motivating our brand new ambassadors? Sharing your passion for the products and the opportunity right away. And don't wait until they get their products to continue to start to share your passion. Because in that window of time when they are getting their products, you've been talking to them for probably a week before that, or 2 weeks, or maybe it's longer. And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, great, I'm signing you up. I'm going to add you to a couple groups, whatever. Let me know when your product comes. And then it's like, you know, when the TV used to go off air at night or in the morning, and you'd have all those colored blocks and be like, that's what they got from you. All of a sudden, the Plexus gal went quiet. Like, they couldn't get her to shut up before. And now I ordered, and now she's gone. It's like you're ghosting them. You know how much it bugs you when people ghost you. Don't do that. So go back to them. Send them more opportunity videos. Send them more information. Send them your favorite diamond documentaries. I love sending Abby Kappa's. It's super cute. I heard Bridget Ryan is redoing hers. I'm like, please leave the crying baby girls in it. It's like my favorite part of that entire video. It makes me bawl every time. And I loved, Amanda, that you said that you just decided to stop being scared, because one of the things that she said was get out of your comfort zone and be in their comfort zone. I thought that was super interesting. When she said that, she was talking about, and we've been talking about this with some of our leaders, is how do people best respond to information? Would you like a phone call? Do you like emails? Do you like text messages? Do you respond on Messenger? Is there another platform that you would prefer to get information by? So if they are on Google Hangouts and that's the only thing that they use, or maybe they are more on WhatsApp instead of Messenger. Maybe, like somebody said this last week, they deleted Messenger off their phone because they needed more room and they bumped an app. So they got rid of Messenger, and they don't see your messages because they just don't go in there, but they check their emails 3 times a day like my aunt does. I don't do that, but she does. So email would be the better thing for her, right? So you want to be in their zone of comfort. You want to come over to their house and sit on their couch instead of making them come to you for all the things, right? Encourage people to host sip and shares. Do it for them. Do online events, and they don't need to be crazy fancy. You do not need to reinvent the wheel. You do not need to write a whole event by yourself. Go and use ones that we have in Healthier and Happier. We're having another one next Thursday, a posting event on the 24th. So when you're doing your send, share, invite, and you're encouraging your new people to invite people to things, we're trying to make it so that you have something to invite them to every week. Yay! Who'd have thought, right? Mind blowing. So here's another thing. We're almost done, and then we're going to do our half-hour power hour. That's how these calls are going to work, because I've already got you all here. You already like put the babies in bed, and if you got to go, you got to go. But if we're already here, we might as well do some work, and if we're fired up, we might as well put that to good use, right? So I would really challenge you guys to go look at that incentive. Go look at that, skip the malls and deck the halls, or whatever. It rhymes, and it's malls and halls, and I don't know which way it is. Who knows? I know it's money, and I know it's there for you. What would you guys do with an extra $150 US? What did I say it was? Plus 75 times 1.33. Almost $300. What would you do? Isn't that nuts? $300 between the Canadian exchange and the business building bonuses. We get $300. I'm sorry, anybody who's complaining about the exchange rate isn't doing their business. Because if you're doing your business, you're thanking that exchange rate. Because when I get a bonus, not only do I get to buy the shoes, I get to go for supper too. Whereas in the States, they only get to buy the shoes, unless they should shop at Target, and then they can do both. But anyway, if you get 6 people, 6, what was that? Does anybody remember my numbers? Times 25. Oh, 150. 650 times 1.33. $865. Do you guys want to hear something nuts? There were a bunch of people who sponsored over 12 people the month that we had the iPad incentive. You had to get 6 in order to get the iPad. Walk with me on this. 12 new ambassadors times $25 per welcome pack, because we get a bonus. That's $300. So 12 new ambassadors would be that 500 times 2, right? Because you get 150 for each new ambassador. And then for every 6 ambassadors, you get another 200. So yeah, you're with me on that? I lost my other figure. Okay, 300. Plus, is that right? Yeah, 300 plus 1,000. Okay, it's 1,300. 12 new ambassadors is just over $1,700, and that's not including any pay points. I think that would buy more than 2 iPads. Anybody else? And we were working for those iPads like crazy. Like, what could you buy with that money, right? Absolutely crazy. So what could just $150 do for you? Maybe you don't want to look at the crazy big. I just look at where I've been before and I'm like, why is this not as big of an incentive for me? I'm going to be working my tail off the next week. I'm super excited. What could $150, well, we're calling it $300. What could $300 do for you for this Christmas? Maybe you don't need the $300, but you decide to sponsor a family instead for $300. I watched, or I was in my kid's school today and I saw the saddest thing on the wall. And this is one of the things that drives me, is being around or being exposed to so many inner city schools that have kids that are in need. Okay. So usually our school gets a call from one of the inner city schools that they need winter clothes for their kids, for their little guys. Cause they come from home and they don't have ski pants and they don't have jackets, and their parents either don't or just don't, they choose not to spend their money on purchasing that, or they don't have the money to spend on it. So they do a big winter clothes drive. But on the same poster was, our school has been notified that a lot of the children at this school need new undergarments. So if you could bring a toonie every Tuesday, we're going to put it towards new undergarments for the kids at the school. That broke my heart. And I was like, I mean, legitimately, sometimes my kids don't have underwear to wear, but that's no fault of anybody's except the laundry. That's never something my kids are going to have to worry about, is not having underwear to wear. And so that's part of my why, is I want to be able to go and sponsor classrooms and sponsor schools. If we start thinking bigger, breakfast programs and lunch programs and whatever programs, right? Like, yeah. So maybe you got your family covered, or maybe it means that you can give a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, I heard of a lot of people that were thinking, hey, you know what, if I earned those 6 for kicks, I'd give the running shoes away because I don't need a new pair of running shoes. And that's brilliant. I think those shoes are fantastic. Nothing saying to anybody who kept them. Those are great. But sometimes we look at incentives, and sometimes they don't totally speak to us. Like I was saying, the iPads, maybe we're speaking to people more than $1,700. I don't get that. It's not making sense to me. But maybe if we put a name to it, it'll make more sense. So anyway, all right. So that is the end of our team call. I'm going to shut off our recording. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for watching. We are going to do a half-hour power hour. And yeah,